Every time I talk to married men, they're trying to convince me not to get married. How is it that you have the woman of your dreams, but you convincing other men not to get married? Most men that's married don't want to be married, or they got married for the wrong reasons. They didn't get married because they genuinely wanted to. They got married because they just thought that was just the next steps that they were supposed to do. And then every time we have a conversation, they're trying to push me away from marriage. And then they're surprised by my response because I'm heavy on I want to get married. I'm heavy on men being married. Only if these men's wives knew how they was talking about marriage behind their backs.
Men aren't skipping marriage because they're afraid of growing up. They're skipping it because they looked at the legal court statistics and realized the math doesn't work. Welcome back to the 1 Hour Network. If you are ready for a calm, logical breakdown of why the modern marriage contract has officially lost its value in 2026, tap that subscribe button right now. Let's look at the numbers.
This woman understood what 99.9% of the women in America would never understand.
Why should a man that is single, that is already living his life, possibly disrupt his life by taking on a woman? In these hard economic times, in these hard political times, in these hard, difficult, challenging spiritual times, you think that it's a good idea for a man to take on a woman? These same women who are getting online expressing how ungrateful they are, taking men's children away, putting men on child support, taking half of their stuff when they get divorced, just causing chaos in their life, causing drama. You act like, oh, because I have my genitalia, since I have this private part, I'm the prize. No, the prize is who's ever in demand, and women are not in demand anymore. There's way too many of us. We've gotten online and made it clear that we're way too easy, we're way too promiscuous, we do anything strange for a little bit of change. There's literally no incentive anymore. What is the point? It's all risk and little to no reward. And why are we walking around still thinking that we're the prize, thinking that someone should want us when we're not giving anything worth wanting? When you're letting all these women online represent womanhood in such a nasty way every single day, and you're in the comments condoning it, instigating it, egging it on, yes girl, yes queen, waving your fingers, praising this behavior, and you're surprised when these men don't want you besides to sleep with you. We as a whole are diminishing our value every single day, and it's over. It's a wrap.
I hate to say it, but she's actually speaking nothing but the truth. I see it every day in these online forums where men are talking about that they don't want to get married. They don't care anything for marriage anymore. And it's simply because the women have weaponized these governmental entities to enslave men, to make them debt slaves, to pay child support, to pay alimony, and all of these things, and how women are advocating that men just take care of them, provide for them while they provide nothing in these relationships, and men are tired of being used. I think those days of chivalrous men are long gone, and women have to do a lot of more work in order to get that back.
Every single married man I've ever met has said they hate their wife. Do they secretly just say that to fit in, or do they actually not want to get married? Please, someone explain.
You know what I noticed not too long ago? No one stays in a relationship longer than a man who tells the woman that he's with he does not believe in marriage. I have known 4 couples in my lifetime where when I met them, they were 5 or 6 years into their relationship already. The man said, I don't want to do marriage. I don't believe in marriage. And the woman somehow convinces herself that is something she also wants. Until finally they hit the 10-year mark, she turns 30, or a major life change happens. Surprisingly enough, though, a baby isn't significant enough as a life change for these men to change their mind and these women to try to convince them. But what I find so interesting is that these men will say, I don't believe in marriage, and never be single, ever. Not only that, they will date women upwards of 7-10 years. Get into a new relationship once that one ends. And God forbid, if there's kids involved in his previous relationship, He's going to have the expectation of the next woman not only accepting the fact that he doesn't want to marry her, but also taking on the role as a stepmother. What does that sound like to you guys? Like, some men enjoy the privileges of a wife, but not the responsibility, not the accountability. And unfortunately, just how they say our time runs up at 30, they cannot carry on that way for the rest of their life, because it's going to get to a point where if you're over 40, no woman's going to let you play in her face like that. I'm sorry.
Why are so many men refusing to get married? This is an interesting question, and I don't know if men actually are refusing to get married or not, but it could be a few things. It could be that there's misconceptions about what marriage is. We hear a lot about who benefits from marriage. Is there a benefit to marriage? We hear a lot about men who are taken advantage of in the divorce process or feel like they lost something. I also think there's this mindset where you're with someone, but you're wondering if something better is out there. So why would you commit to marriage if you're worried you're going to miss out on something better? What I would say to women in that situation is, if your partner doesn't want to marry you and you want to get married, leave, break up. That's going to end with you guys breaking up anyway. And if you're a single man who never wants to get married, let us know why. We're really curious. You guys had a lot of thoughts on my video about why men are refusing to get married. One commenter said, making an investment with a 52% chance of failure that would continue to deplete your resources after said failure is a very bad investment. You don't have a 52% chance of failure. Depending on your level of education, your age when you get married, and some other factors, your chance for divorce goes down pretty dramatically. One person commented, the truth is that women's status, independence, and wages have increased dramatically, but divorce laws are still stuck in the 1950s. That's not untrue. When divorce laws, especially in Utah, were made, there were a lot of protections for women because gender roles in marriage were very different. We don't see that as much anymore. We do still see it. Utah has a higher percentage of stay-at-home moms, which is why Utah will probably always have alimony, but that's not untrue, and maybe we need to update some of the ways that we divide and talk about property. A lot of people said that it's a lot of risk for little benefit. I don't think a lot of people know the risks, like actually know what the risks are, but also I don't think you know necessarily the benefits. There are tax benefits to being married, insurance, there are legal protections for if you have kids. A commenter on here said that no marriage equals no kids equals no child support. You can still have child support if you have a child when you're not married. I did appreciate everyone's comments, and I really think that we should keep up this conversation around marriage.
You know, real shit, I'm never getting married again. I'm never gonna do like the, committed relationship where we all live together and shit like that. I'm not doing that shit again because I lived that life already, right? Yeah, I got married young, but regardless, I still got married. I lived a life. I got 2 kids out of it, got divorced. I'm over that shit. I tried several times after getting married, and it's not like it's just not for me. It's just that I have no interest anymore of seeing where it will go, seeing how I will pursue it. None of that shit. I'm just over it. I'm just over it. And it's not like a bitter thing, and it's not like, oh, I'll never find anyone. I just choose me. I want to wake up choosing me. I want to go to sleep choosing me. Plain and simple. That's it. There's no disrespect, or I don't look down on anybody saying, oh, don't get married, none of that stuff. I'm still going to encourage my kids to find one person to be with and spend their life with and things like that. All that shit sounds great. It sounds great. But is it part of everyone's journey? No. Is it everyone's choice? No. And I choose not to have that. And it's not to say that, oh, you might find someone. If you find someone, it might be different. That's always a possibility. But it's a no.
I've got a new question for you guys. Why do you think guys no longer want to get married? Here's what I think. I think MGTOW men have allowed themselves to be influenced by social media into believing that all women are feminists or feminazis. But in real life, you can tell people what you're looking for and what it is that you want. There are women out there that are looking for something that could be very much alike to what you're looking for. Maybe you've been hanging out with shallow or greedy people, and well, maybe that's on you and what you've been putting out there. But I think women don't reflect what the media says about them. And neither should you. Now, what's your opinion?
Of course they don't, because now they're held accountable and now they can't just run away scot-free. So apparently to this woman right here, men aren't marrying anymore because we're being held accountable. And actually it's just the opposite. Men aren't marrying anymore because women are not accountable. Men always lose in a divorce, and no one wants to enter into a contract where the other party gets rewarded for breaking it. That is all.
I posted a video about guys not knowing what they want in their 30s, and let me tell you, the comments have me like shook. The amount of men saying that they don't want to get married because they don't want to have to take care of a woman is like absolutely mind-blowing to me. Like, love is dead. It's dead.
For anyone that has listened to men in the last decade, this should not be surprising. Because let's face it, ladies, men are no longer to expect anything from a woman in marriage. Because when they talk about expectations, especially on social media, they get put through the ringer. And that has leaked into the real world. Like, men have a lot to lose when it comes to relationships, especially marriage. They are expected to give without requiring or wanting or asking for anything in return. A lot of men that have experienced that feeling in a real life relationship that he's been through, he has decided to remain single rather than put himself through that again. And honestly, what he sees on social media just reinforces that. It's really only until he finds a good woman in real life, he finds that unicorn, that will ever be broken down. And that does happen occasionally. But for the rest of the guys, they would rather be single.
Men don't want to marry anymore because the risk outweighs the benefits. There's a risk that comes with marriage that essentially only benefits a woman. A man marries you and can only hope that one day you don't wake up and say, I feel like I don't love you anymore and I want to leave and you can't do anything about it. According to ASA, 70 to 80% of divorces are initiated by women. Among college-educated women, it jumps to 90%. You know what's crazy? I mean, a lot of us women don't have anything a man actually wants that we can bring to the table.
A lot of men say that they're done with women. Okay, that sounds nice to protest and be like, we don't want them no more. But my follow-up question is, so what you gonna do then? Like, are y'all finna die lonely as well? Are y'all gonna be cat men? Like, some of these women gonna be cat moms, cat women? Does that just mean y'all don't have children anymore and carry on y'all seed and y'all lineage and legacy? Y'all don't care about that no more? And I'm like, I know you gonna need to have some. So do we turn gay? I'm just wondering, like, what type of solution is that? The same way that I talk to women and say that they shouldn't hate all men because not all men are the same way I talk to men and say that all women are not the same. There are some good ones out there. So giving up and being like, we done with women, what type of solution is that? Like, okay, so fast forward to when you're 70 and it's just you and your furniture and your car that you probably wipe down every Saturday and get washed. What type of life was that? What type of legacy is that?
Why men are choosing to not get married anymore. Men have always been expected to work hard, provide for a family, and do the right thing by getting married. But today, more and more men are actively choosing to stay single. And it's not because they want to play the field. The real reason why men are not getting married these days is it comes down to risk versus reward. Marriage used to mean partnership, stability, and overall lifelong commitment from both people involved. But now, divorce rates are sky high. Family courts overwhelmingly favor women. And men have heard countless horror stories about guys who lose half their assets or access to their children or having their entire lives disrupted from a bad relationship. And over time, women's expectations have also changed, but men's responsibilities haven't. Men are expected to still be providers, but also split household duties, be emotionally available, and constantly prove themselves to be better than any of her other options. While a lot of women openly say that they don't want to cook or clean, or be traditional in any way, shape, or form. But they still expect men to provide, and overall men can see that that's an awful deal.
My dad said it seems like young men don't want to get married anymore, and I wanted to ask the internet why that might be. Like, I definitely have ideas of why it might be, but I'd rather hear from real people. It's also interesting that it coincides with that statistic that's been thrown around a lot lately, which is that 40% of women of marriageable age are going to be single by the year 2030. And what's interesting is it's by choice. Like, we're all choosing not to do this anymore. And I know that for a lot of women, myself included, there's a lot of hesitancy because we've been hurt and we're afraid. So I'm curious, what is it from the male perspective? Or do you think all of this is just like a consequence of the culture we live in now with like hookup culture and the internet? I don't know.
Let me know what I should tell my dad, thanks.
The bar is set so low for men nowadays that as long as he's not cheating or yelling at you, you think you just won at life if he gave you the ring. Well, at least I'm not getting hit like my last relationships, and my ex-boyfriend used to cheat on me, and this man is just so good and he's so not like that. I don't give a fuck, Keisha. I will put up with a man being a full-blown man-child. A full-blown man-child, and you'll deal with it. You'll cook, you'll clean, you'll play the video games, he'll lack things, he ain't doing things on time, he ain't doing things when he said he's gonna do them. You'll literally live 50-50 for the rest of your life as long as the man's not fucking other bitches. And some of y'all will still do all that while he's fucking other bitches. Y'all are going crazy in my comment section constantly about when's the ring coming? When are you gonna propose? Well, I wanna know firsthand. I don't feel like I need to be chosen. I don't need a ring on my finger. I'm good, okay? I've seen the way that marriages work nowadays. I need to know that I can rely on you financially and wholeheartedly every cross T dot, and y'all can call me whatever the fuck you want. You just can't call me a dumbass bitch that gets married to a man that ain't worth a damn. A man that is going 50-50 with a woman is not ready for a wife. I don't know who needs to hear that. I don't even care. I don't care about the society. I know that we're living in a freaking recession. I don't care about none of that. My husband is not going to let me touch a bill. I literally don't care. I will never get married in my life. If it never happens and I never get all the things, I'll never get married. But one thing I'll never fucking do, and you'll never see me do, is settle. If y'all see me married, just know that man is taking good care of me in Conway.
So I would love to get married again, but now it seems like men don't want to get married anymore. Like, why is this? Can't we just get a prenup and be married? What is the real reason men don't want to get married anymore? Is it money? Is it they've already had half of their stuff taken from a divorce, so they're bitter? I'm really curious.
I don't want to be your second husband. You get what I mean? Like, Nestor, do you want to be this lady's second husband?
No, she's making it sound like getting married. She makes it sound like a hobby or something.
It's like something to do.
Yeah.
like what? You know how much a wedding costs? Usually, I've been to 4 weddings in the past 2 years. No one had crab cakes. The wedding I went to, the dude there, they were literally making a wager on how long the marriage was going to last. They both thoroughly did not think that this relationship was going to last. Meanwhile, we're sitting there eating phenomenal finger foods. I'm not kidding. That really happened. I remember being like, what? For real? Like, they seem like a good match. He's like, are you kidding me? He's like, this wedding's a sham. I was like, what?
Why don't you want to get married?
I don't want to get married because this is a weird one. I don't have enough positive examples of marriage in my life.
Understandable.
To be sold in this marriage thing.
Understandable.
I really don't.
Yeah, and you can only go from like the things that are close to you, so it makes sense.
I was actually listening to a podcast about a divorce lawyer the other day.
Okay.
The world's most famous or best or whatever divorce lawyer. And it actually kind of like opened my eyes to what like a prenup actually is. And it's just, all it is just an agreement. So I think most people go in there when they're like, oh, would you sign a prenup? And people are like, nah, I'm never signing a prenup. Obviously, typically the girls would say that, but not always the case. But when people go in and be like, oh, I'm not signing a prenup, and the typical kind of back and forth is, well, if you wouldn't sign if you want, like, a lot of times the person who's being asked to sign a prenup would be like, well, if you're asking me to sign a prenup, why you're making it seem like we're going to fail? And why would you want to marry me if you're already thinking about our divorce? And I hate that argument, period. But I think a lot of people think a prenup just means you're signing away anything. It means that once I sign this piece of paper, I'm getting nothing, and you're going to leave me high and dry. However, apparently, a prenup is just an agreement. So it's just like, we're not leave. If we get divorced without a prenup, the judge is just going to be like half over here, half over here, because I simply can't be bothered to deal with this. All your assets, and they break it down to assets. So when you don't have a prenup, they literally break it down to what everything you man own has they'll value it.
it,
So literally, if me and you are married right now, and we got divorced, they would go through this entire studio and be like, that plant is worth a tenner. That plant is da-da-da-da-da-da. And they would literally split it out so the assets are even, and then you'd bicker over, but I want that plant. And that's like, divorces can take years when you don't have a prenup. Years and years and years of bickering because people want the exact split evenly of like what an asset is. And then one lawyer might be like, that's worth 500K. The other lawyer might be like, it's worth 10K. And then they go back and forth and argue about that. And it's a whole bullshit thing. Whereas you can just split it and sign a prenup and be like, we both agree in this prenup, if we were to get divorced, you'll get this and I'll get this, and we're not talking about it again. And then you can actually just like crack on with your marriage.
Fair enough.
I just feel like marriage is just like a shitty parlay bet, bruv. Like, it's just like, it's literally, I bet we are probably going to stay together. If not, I lose everything. It's like, what's the point of this? Like, the only win is that, okay, we both and like get married next to each other, very romantic. But like, what are you winning from this, bruv? I know people say, you know, the first time you say I love you to somebody, it's very exciting. It's like, I feel like because you run out of those exciting kind of points in a relationship, marriage is the next one. That's like the next thing.
I understand
and
what
it
you're saying with
spices things up a bit. But I don't feel like there's actually a meaningful. I don't know. Maybe I'm being dry.
There's a part of me that agrees with you in terms of it's just the next thing that people get to look forward to and all this kind of stuff. I do think there's a level of, over the years, the more I've spoken about it and listened about it, because I've been against marriage like my entire life, the more I've tried to like learn about what it is that people are so keen about marriage. I think a lot of it is to do with like, well, at least from girls I've spoken to about it, girls get like security from it. And that like you've done, in marrying me, you've actually taken the step that you would never, ever, ever, ever take for someone else. You can only marry one person unless, you know. Unless you really are a bastard, which some people are. But the principle is that like, if we're dating, cool. You could be dating anyone. Like, if you buy me presents and all that, you could be doing this at anyone. Valentine's Day, you could be doing this with anyone. Like, there's nothing that makes it unique to me.
I'm never going to get married. I don't want to get married.
Why?
There's no benefit for the man. He only has everything to lose. A man can be completely faithful to his wife, provide, protect, take care of the kids, you know, obviously when he's not working, whatever. And the wife can step out and cheat. And what's the result of that? Man has to pay alimony, has to pay child support, loses his house, loses the cars, loses everything. Why? What's the point? And then, like, it's a coin flip. Flip a coin if your marriage is going to work. Those are the odds. Those are the chances. If you want to get married, cool. Throw a wedding, put the rings on each other, say your vows, you're married. You don't have to submit nothing with the courts.
Die alone?
The only reason why somebody is not okay being alone is because they're not okay with themselves.
I agree.
That's it. Like, if you're not okay being alone, you have issues with yourself that you need to take care of.
No degree, no money, no goals, no prospects. And you think that a wealthy, well-accomplished man is gonna want to marry you? Are you actually insane? Have you seen the type of women that these men marry? These women are Ivy League educated. Some of them are well-known philanthropists, attorneys, surgeons, or they even own big-time companies themselves. Being beautiful simply is not enough. Because if you're between the ages of 18 and 25, you best be sure the first question they're gonna ask you is, what school do you go to? If it's not a Ivy League school or an extremely wealthy liberal arts school, you're done. As a matter of fact, if a wealthy man had the choice to choose between a extremely educated, beautiful, sexy woman versus a girl who has no education, is just beautiful, and just has no goals in general, who do you think he's going to choose? A lot of y'all seem to forget there are a lot of beautiful, beautiful, educated women out there, successful women. They're going to choose that girl every single time. And even if he wanted to marry you, y'all need to understand that these families simply would not let that happen if you didn't come from another wealthy family. They plan who their children are gonna marry from the day that they're born to ensure that their generational wealth continues. And they're not gonna risk that just because of love. Like, most wealthy people marry to continue their wealth and marry for like business deals and all that.
Here's another reason why majority of the men that you want does not want marriage. When a man is leading the family, you will call him controlling because you can't have your way.
Question for the men that say they never want to get married, which I totally get your reasoning. You don't want to get divorced and give up half your shit that you've worked your whole life for. Check, check. Got it. So my question is, for those men, do you live in a state that after 7 years of being in a relationship with someone, dating them, living together, you are married by law anyways? And then a two-part to that is, what about when you don't want to move into your girl's place? So you're like, hey, move into my place, right? So maybe she's renting her house out now and she has to move all of her stuff out, but you don't need it at your house because your house is already fully furnished. What is she supposed to do with her stuff? Because in your mind, if you get divorced, or I guess if you never get married, you guys break up, she would then have to then go rebuild, go rebuy all of the furniture. And as you know, it's always going to be more expensive to go rebuy the furniture you already had, that you had to go sell for pennies to the dollar. So what is your thought there? Do you get like a backup plan is, if we break up, then you have to help fund my furniture purchases because I had to get rid of everything when I moved into your place? Like, what is your guys' thought on this? I'm curious. Let me know in the comments. Let's have a combo.
Is marriage even worth it? It's not. I've been married for about 7 years, and I don't even know if this is worth it. Like, and not saying that there's anything necessarily wrong. There's nothing wrong, and that's the point. Like, I don't even know why I'm upset. And I am a good man. I do. And that's not the point. The point is, it's like, you really do lose yourself. You lose your sense of individuality. I don't think it's worth it, like, at all. I don't know if I want to continue doing this every single day of my life. Like, always checking in with someone, always having to consider their feelings, it's always somebody else. You know, girls are out there, they're like dying for like a relationship like mine. Like, he takes care of me, but like, I'm sorry, like, I can't even really barely deal with myself and my own emotions. I just don't think marriage is for me.
This is the type of stuff that makes men feel like there's no point in getting married. She's basically saying that she has a good marriage. She has a good husband, but she doesn't want to be married. She doesn't want to be a partner. Constantly having to consider somebody's feelings, constantly having to check in with somebody, constantly having to be there with someone else. That means that you don't want a companion. When you're in love with a person, you want to be around them. You want to do things for them. You want to check up on them. You want them to check up on you. You want to spend your life with them. I've seen a lot of videos on TikTok of women being married for 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and they don't want to be married no more. And the common theme that I see is they all got married too young, or they all got married for the wedding. They didn't get married for the marriage. They don't give themselves time to learn themselves, so they feel like she said, their identity is lost. They don't have any individuality because they didn't take the time in life to learn themselves. And if they would have took the time to learn themselves, they would have learned they're not a relationship type of person, or they don't want to be around somebody 24/7, or they don't want to consider another person throughout life. Imagine how this man feels. Imagine how her husband feels watching this video, knowing that he's been a good husband, he's been a good man. Like she said, he takes care of her. So imagine how this makes him feel. That's probably going to change the way that he views love, the way that he views relationships and marriages, because when he did what was right, he still lost.
A lot of men say, oh, we don't want to have marriage because I don't want the government getting involved and blah, 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 and all that stuff. 100%
Shit.
lies. 100%
They're
lies.
lying. No, it's a lie. It's a lie.
Do you know what it is, yeah? In life, when
how
you're-
much? Sorry, how much does the government get involved when you're married?
No, what I mean is
the
that-
paperwork, the
Yeah, the paper trail. Yeah,
And you
yeah.
get certain tax breaks.
They're chatting
That's
rubbish.
not
But
it.
not just that, but like someone, I heard a lawyer, he was a divorce lawyer, and he said, look, one way or another, you get a prenuptial agreement. You either do it yourself or the government does it for you.
Yeah.
So that he goes, the government, once you're, because when I'm getting married and it's like, you have to go in.
Congratulations.
Yay!
By the time this airs, I might be married.
Oh.
You have to go and do like, you have to go and register your interest to get married. You have
Yeah.
to do all of these things, and it's all paperwork and it's all for the government.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So when me and Kix talk about this all the time, when you're not good at something, you'll convince yourself and other people that it's not important to you. Right? So you know people that are never good with money, and they was like, I'm not really money motivated.
Yeah.
I'm not really money's not important, but their problems are always to do with money. But their ego to say, you know what, I do like money, I'm just not very good at it.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to say it's not important to me.
Yeah.
So all those men that are saying I don't do marriage is for the government. What it is, they're just not very good at it.
If I don't marry her, she could never take any of my shit. You would have a problem with that. Just marry me. Well, you don't trust me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm protecting myself. You just said men should know to protect themselves before they get it. And you're right. If a man doesn't protect himself, it is his fault.
Right.
I'm not going to marry you because of the divorce rate is mostly initiated because of women. I'm not going to marry. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Would you ever consider marriage or no?
I don't necessarily believe in marriage in the sense of getting the government involved in your business and also like forcing two people to be together. I like it in a spiritual sense and I like it in like an idea, but I feel like the actual result, if half of these people get divorced and then the fallout of that divorce and how I've seen some of these divorces get so ugly versus when two people just choose to be together and they don't have to be there, I feel like they both behave better, they both try harder. And I think the problem with a lot of relationships is that one person is not willing to walk. And when you're not willing to walk, you will put up with the maximum amount of shit the other person is willing to give you. And then that other person will slowly lose respect for you over time. So I find the best relationship is one when you don't need the other person and they don't need you, but you both enjoy spending time together and you choose to spend time, not because you have to, but because you want to.
Why are men no longer showing up at the dates that they booked for with these women? Why are men no longer showing up at singles conferences? Why are men becoming very much less interested in marriage? These are the many questions that I have been getting in my DMs, and honestly, I have gotten emails with regards to that. And I'm going to explain certain things to you right here. So recently, I organized singles conference in Houston. It was tagged H-Town Singles Hangout with Coach Sazi. You can see the flyer right here. And as a matter of fact, I actually attended about 2 other different singles conferences where I featured or just went to learn and meet people. And trust me, I saw the same thing play out, where you see a hall packed with lots of women, but you get to see a handful of men. And these women are asking, where are the men? So where are the men? The men have chosen their peace, their purpose, and their pockets to be sealed. The men have decided to listen to your orders, to your instruction. The men got your memo and they chose to be stuck at home. The men are saying to you, we want you to be free from every one of us. Because I mean, you all say you do not need men. Feminism has freed every one of you. Yes, that's exactly what they are saying. The men are saying that you need the 10%, but they are not in the 10%. So there is nothing they can do about it. The men are saying that you would rather be with a bear than be with a man. Where are the bears? The men are saying that we are choosing our career, our peace, we are choosing our joy, we are choosing to stay at home, we are choosing to make investments, we are choosing to grow our savings, we are choosing to love ourselves more. Because guess what? The risk involved in getting a woman to be with is becoming higher by the day. The men are saying that if commitment is important to you, then the responsibility that comes with commitment must also be adhered to. But no, a lot of ladies are not ready to give the commitment that comes with the responsibility of a marriage or a relationship. Yet you all are demanding a lot from the men. So the men are saying, no, if you want us to be committed, you also will need to show the level of responsibility required for that commitment as well. The men are saying they are not going to be committed leaders because a lot of you have seen submission as slavery, submission as subjugation. So the men are saying we are not ready to be heads anymore. In fact, the men are not even looking for women that will care for them, because since the women are not willing to also play their role or at least give some level of commitment to the relationship, the men are saying no. The truth is, humanity was never created for isolation. Men and women are important component needed for humanity not to go extinct. And so every day when I hear women keep going out with this rhetoric, we don't need men, the men are listening, the men are aligning, the men are obeying. So, dear sisters, you will need to go back to that conference or the coven or the conversation or the building or to yourself or to your other sisters and ask, at what point do we need to stop? And yes, I know that there are some of my ladies that might come here to call me pick me, male-centered, patriarchy princess, pick me, shall lift me, crane me, forklift me, whatever name you just want to really call me. It's fine. But guess what? A lot of you are stuck with your Amazon bumblebee companion Z. Is that what you want? Please do not get it twisted. I am just here speaking exactly what the men are saying no to. And if the sisters are willing to listen, I personally believe that these things can be handled and will begin to fix them. We need to go back again to the drawing board. But hey, you know what it is? If you want to remain single, you don't want to be married, my respect to you. You do not have to do it. But if you want the marriage, you want the family life, then there are things, there are commitments and responsibilities that come with the family life. And to the brothers out there, there is nothing wrong in also sticking to your preferences and your choices. But I hope as well that what you are doing is realistic at the end of the day. I am Coach Sazi. This is No Gray Areas with Sazi, where we come to tell it with love and with light. Guys, drop it in the comments. How can we resolve this? How can this problem be fixed? How can this problem be handled? We would love to hear from you. Do well to share this video so we can get more public opinions. And don't forget to like it and follow this page for more. See you next time.
Back with another My Ass Got a Question. Thought of the day. Or I guess I should say night. This again, I'm sorry, ladies. I really like the perspective of men, so y'all can answer if y'all want, but I really don't care for your opinions. I really want to know for the men. If nowadays a lot of men don't want marriage anymore and they don't want children, like especially like somebody who already have children or whatever the case may be, what is it that y'all are actually looking for when it comes to you looking for a relationship within a woman? If you don't want neither of those two aspects. Do you just want somebody that you could just feel at peace with and just enjoy your last moments on earth together? Are you just looking for a constant, safe, sex buddy, where you ain't got to worry about transmitting like diseases and stuff like that? Are you looking to build maybe in other aspects, whether that is like in a home, even though you don't want children or you don't want marriage? Are you looking for somebody you can go on vacations with? Or are you even looking for somebody who can take care of you once you get into your older years? I genuinely just want to know the answer to that question, because I have no idea when men actually say that. What is it that they're looking for specifically when they're trying to be in a relationship with you, but they're not trying to build in the aspect of a family or a marriage? So y'all fellas let me know. So, give me the scoop, the 411, tell me what it is.
Men today.
Yeah.
And I want to start with the young one. The one where between the ages of 20 to, let's say, like below 30. They don't want to marry.
Why?
Because it is too expensive being in a relationship. Both financially, emotionally, mentally and physically. Especially in Kenya today, because these young men, they're looking to make their future. They're looking to establish a thing for their future financially so that they be stable. So they end up putting so much hours in boda, so much hours at workplace. He's working with you here. He has to put so much hours. We have to do so many shows so that something can come out that they can get good pay. The more time they put in, and this person has a young woman who is Damubade Komoto, need a lot of work at home, he can't make it. This woman also needs something. And worst case scenario, when this wife of his is not making any income and they have a child, it is expensive. It is tiring. You have not talked about little quarrel that has to accompany any relationship. So that's why our young men today, they fear marriage like something else. And you don't blame.
Yo, y'all want to know why most men don't want to get married?
No, but look at how my headphones match my sweater. Isn't that cool? Meow.
Reason why young men especially are hesitant to get married is because for a lot of men, they don't see any benefit from it. You're just putting yourself at a disadvantage. If someday she could say, you know what, I'm not really feeling this anymore, I'm going to divorce you, but you're still going to be responsible for paying for me for the rest of your life.
Like I said, I'm pro prenup, and alimony is not gendered. It's literally a formula in most states. And so in a situation, I do think if a man wants to get married, you should think about this. You should think about this possibility. But I don't think that it's fair that a woman who has given up so much in order to be a homemaker shouldn't have any shouldn't have anything. She should just be left on the street.
The society we're creating right now, more and more men don't want to get married. And I get why. There is almost zero upside for men getting married. This isn't me saying that men shouldn't get married, or women, but think about what society is telling men about what being a man is. Tell about society is fucking men hardcore for getting married. If you get married and you get divorced, a woman takes 50% of whatever you have. 80% of relationships, the man is the biggest provider. So that's a big fuck right off the bat. What are you getting in exchange for that? Second, if you have kids with her, you're fucked, because the government doesn't think that you deserve shit. So even good dads who try to stay in the kid's life are fucked. So there's a lot of men going, why the fuck would I do this? The good news is that will correct itself, because eventually then people start going, oh, right? When you create mistakes, you only create more error. Error creates more error. So we've gone so far the other direction that more and more men are going, why the fuck would I get married?
I think men, since the beginning of time, have always been competing, not only against each other, but for the woman that they desire. And in today's modern society, we've kind of lost that sort of competition because of things like porn and OnlyFans. They're no longer competing for those women because those women just give it away for free. So there's not really that aspect of oh, she's hard to get, so I need to become successful in order to get her.
Name one benefit that a man gets from marriage that he wouldn't get in a regular relationship.
Just one.
Well, I think, as a woman, if you're...
I'm asking you as a man, since you're, attacking men for being Peter Pan.
I think a lot of men who choose to get married are incentivized by the fact that they are able to claim that woman as theirs. And
but name one benefit that they would get in a marriage that they wouldn't get in a regular relationship.
Well, I think even though it's not 100%, there's peace of mind that woman is not going to be loyal to you.
The answer is there's none. You're dancing around it. There is none. So my thing is this. I think it's in a man's best interest to stay Peter Pan, as you would say. And I think women shame men because men gain their value in their 40s. Men understand the sexual marketplace better. They understand that women have no leverage in their 40s. And they date down and they get younger, more attractive girls. And that's the best way to go in today's day and age, where we live in a deregulated sexual marketplace where women can take everything they got, take their kids, etc. Why the hell would a guy want to commit to women nowadays when, honestly, we got hoflation?
There's obviously more incentive for women to get married than men, obviously.
Way more.
But what I'm suggesting is there's also benefits to men getting married. And I think...
Name one.
I just told you. I think it's...
That he wouldn't get outside of a regular relationship.
I just told you. The women, knowing that your woman is perhaps going to be more loyal to you when she's your wife versus your girlfriend.
She should be displaying that anyway.
Well, I think the...
So a title changes her loyalty?
Well, yeah, because your games and your tactics don't really work on women anymore because women have woken up. They've woken up and smelled the coffee. So you can't run game on women anymore. They know so much these days, okay? They have so many options, they have so many resources, they have opportunities in life, different tools. You just can't run game on women anymore. And this is why you're not getting married anymore, okay? You don't really feel that there is a place for you in society anymore because women have excelled. So you know that if you want to get married, you're going to have to provide so much, because women have woken up and they've realized that what they used to tolerate before, they're not willing to tolerate anymore. That's it. The bare minimum can't get you far with women anymore. Back in the day, yeah, you got away with it, okay? Because men were kind of seen as spies back then. Because, I don't know, women didn't really have options. We married for survival, so we just picked any man off the street. Women don't have to do that anymore. They're picking from a position of power. And this is why men like you are not getting married anymore. It's not because you've chosen. You have no choice. You didn't choose this. You didn't make this decision. You have no choice. Women don't want to be married to you. Women aren't picking you anymore. Women aren't listening to you anymore. They're not believing your lies, your manipulation. The game that used to run on women doesn't work. So yeah, it's true. You're not getting married, and it's because of that. That's why you're not getting married.
Are you getting married?
Don't see it.
How many wives? I don't see it either. I see it.
That's sad. I don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't see myself doing it.
Why?
There's too much risk.
I just think it's just a construct that people have been doing for so long, so we feel like it's normal. But when you just really look at it and evaluate it, if you don't do it right, it's a stupid ass decision.
But do you guys want to become one? That's all it is. Instead of you being two different people, you are one family. You file one tax. Is just
I love the idea.
Everything is just one.
I love the idea. I just think we have a culture of individualism right now. Nobody don't want to be one with nobody. So until I find somebody
that's not true.
That's very true. Divorce rate is at like 70%. Marriage rates are going down.
I guess the money makes us question it, right? Makes us question getting married. The money aspect of it, like once you get divorced and stuff, people be thinking about the stuff that they're gonna lose.
Exactly.
So that makes them not want to get married.
That's a big risk.
But you can't think of that when that's the one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not thinking of that at all. If I have a woman that's
a lot of people think it's the one and still lose.
But it's hard to find that.
Because here's the problem. Here's the problem with modern marriage from a man's perspective, as far as I'm concerned. Open your eyes. Most of the marriages I know, okay, the man provides financially, he protects, right? What does the woman bring? She brings love, affection, a little bit of sweetness at the end of the day, sex. She brings, taking care of kids. Okay, if you get divorced, every single thing on that side of the man equation, he can be compelled to do by the power of the state, and if he fails to do it, they can put him in jail. Nothing on that other side, the female side, is enforceable at law. The court cannot order her to be nice to you, to fuck you, to be a wonderful mother to your children. She can't. They can't force that. So when you have a contract where only one side of it is enforceable with the power of the state and the other side is not, my attitude is, why don't we then just have an honest conversation?
I don't want to be married at all.
Why?
I don't want to be married. Are you kidding?
I thought you wanted to be a dad.
I would be scared.
Why?
Well, because I don't want to kiss anyone.
How come?
Well, if they kiss me, they sometimes do it with spit.
Yeah, I just think marriage is an L. In today's day and age, I mean, there's obviously the tradition component if you're religious, but when it comes to the government involvement and the potential financial ramifications of having to unwind a marriage, it does not make sense. Just a couple quick stats on the marriage thing. 50% of marriages end in divorce. 80% of divorces are initiated by women. 90% if she's college educated. 90% of child support payments go from men to women. 97% of alimony payments go from men to women. So I think marriage is a pretty big L for men, and they get absolutely crushed in the court system. Prenuptial agreements can get thrown out. So even if you do have a prenuptial agreement, they can definitely be thrown out. They're not bulletproof. So don't get married, guys. Don't do it.
If you're not dating for marriage, like, what are you dating for?
Well, do you think you can't have a lifelong girlfriend and have kids?
No, I think that's ridiculous.
Why is it ridiculous?
Because why would you stay with someone but not also just go ahead and marry them then if you plan on staying with them forever? Like, what's the problem?
Well, I mean, this is the solipsism. So you're saying, why would a woman do that? I get for you, maybe you don't like the deal, but I think it's a better deal for me to not get married. So convince me that I should get married.
Because you want to date other people, like, in your lifetime? You don't want to, like, just only be with one person?
Do I need to get married to stay with somebody for the rest of my life?
No.
Okay.
Are you worried about the, like, liability or repercussions?
Yes.
So you wouldn't...
I am concerned about the liabilities.
So you wouldn't love somebody enough to make that commitment?
I can just reverse this onto you. Why can't she love me enough to not get married?
I guess...
So your argument falls apart.
What do you mean what's the big deal? Who
are you?
It's like
what
you're saying.
You just told me you don't want to get married after 5 years of dating me. What do you mean you don't want to get married? Like that, what do you mean?
That's such a big deal?
Yes, it's a huge deal. You don't tell someone that you've been dating for 5 years, oh, sorry, I don't want to marry you. You don't do that. It's not something you discussed before.
Well, it's not like not just you. If I was dating anyone, I just don't want to get married at all. Like, period.
Yeah, well, you clearly lied to me because in the beginning of us dating, you said that's what you want your future to look like. You want to get married, you want to have kids. What are you going to surprise me with next time? Okay. You don't want kids either.
No, I can. Well, we don't have to have. Like, we can have kids. We don't have to be married to have kids.
I don't know where this is coming from. What is going on with you?
I just feel like it's not for us.
How is it not for us? Yes, it is for us. We spoke about this. How isn't it for us? Why wouldn't it be for us? How isn't marriage for us?
What do you mean?
We've been dating.
Why are you getting so mad?
I'm not mad. I'm like frustrated and sad. How could you do that?
Do what? Do you not want to get married?
Yes. You don't tell someone in the beginning of us dating, oh, I want to get married. And then you still been telling me that to this day. And all of a sudden, you're just like, oh, yeah. You know what? My girlfriend of 5 years, I just don't want to marry you. How could you say that?
I just find I don't know. I've come to my senses and realized that marriage is just not the way.
How?
Because what's the difference? Why? Like, what is it gonna change? Like the way I feel about you, or the way we live together,
George,
or the way we do anything?
You're not understanding. It's not about the way we feel. It's like a commitment. You commit to marriage.
I'm not committed.
Yes, you're committed. I didn't say you aren't, and so am I. But it's
so
something.
If we have a wedding, if we get married, you're gonna be more committed or more dedicated.
I never said that. I never said that. But
are we not perfect the way we are? I just don't want to change anything. Why can't we just stay how we are?
Look, I'm not gonna force you into anything, but I don't know what we're gonna do because that's what I want my future to look like. I want to get married. I want my life like that. I want to get married. So
what does that do for you?
It makes me happy.
It makes you happy.
It makes me happy, and if you can't
being
do that,
with me just as a
it does. No, George, no, you're wrong. It makes me happy too, but that's what I want. I want to get married.
And I don't.
Well, then this just won't work.
What if us getting married, our wedding changes everything?
What will it change?
Well, if it wouldn't change anything, what's the point?
You're making it seem like it would change to something bad.
I don't know. I don't want to find out. That's it. I still love you, babe.
Yeah.
It's not gonna change the way I feel.
Well, when someone loves someone, they usually want to marry them.
Why?
Because that's what you do. Okay, George, honestly, this is what you wanted to tell me?
Yeah.
Right now, you had to tell me this. You couldn't tell me 5 years ago.
But how would I have known 5 years ago? 5 years ago?
5 years ago you wanted to get married. 5 years later, what's next?
Eventually, I said eventually
no,
maybe I would want to get married. And
no, you didn't. You never said maybe. You said that's what you want in your future. We discussed this. You spoke about it. You told me. You don't.
And now I just don't. I still want to have a family and kids eventually. That's always the goal in life. I don't feel like getting married doesn't have to be a part of that.
Well, maybe that's for you, but I know what I want, and that's for me. This is so out of nowhere. Did anything happen for you to change your mind?
No, I just was thinking about it and realized that I don't feel like we need to get married. Like, I don't need to prove anything to anyone.
But George, it's not.
I don't need to show you that I love you more. How can I show you that I love you more by getting married?
It's not showing me that you love me more. It's starting a life together. Right now we are together, but we're not really together. Like, we're not like, I don't know. I don't want to explain it. I know I wanted to get married, and I thought you wanted to.
I'm sorry.
The one I've heard probably the most, and maybe you've heard this too, is when a man says, I'm just never going to get married again. Mm-hmm. When I hear that, I tell women, I go, you need to really pay attention to that one, because men don't say that lightly. Usually it's a divorce or some trauma or something. It doesn't mean that, but it means they've resolved to themselves, that's not for me for whatever reason. And that's not something they're open to, changing or wanting to change. I'm good the way it is. Don't try to change me. Let's have a good time. But don't count on dating him and loving him enough that you're going to change him. I've seen too many where that doesn't happen. I've seen women waste years waiting on a great guy, but just was never going to commit like she wanted.
Men with no kids and no marriage plans are the fastest growing demo. Sorry for them, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about, because in my mind, I'm just like, if you have no plans.
That was the only thing throwing me off.
Like, if you have no plans, then, I mean, you have other things, bless you. There's other things you should be worried about. The woman is what is it called? The variable. What's the one that doesn't change? You know how you have like hypotheses, the variables. Like, what is the one?
There is like a recent episode or maybe recent clip where I said that I'm happily single
That I don't know why that had people in an uproar because how can you be happily single?
Really? What were they saying?
I don't know. Someone actually DM'd me and said, "Oh, you're 27. You can't possibly be happily single at this age. You should be married with kids." I actually ended up responding to him and said, "Excuse me," but then I was like, "Amanda, what the are you telling this man excuse me for?" I said, "Just block him." But I do want to read what the he said because I was like,
Please,
what?
no, let's go.
I was like, what is this man talking about?
And let's hope she responds.
What are modern women more upset about? Men being stingy with their money, not wanting to pay for dates, paying her bills, or that men don't want to marry the woman that he sleeps with. Biblically, that's his wife, right? I don't think the women are upset that men don't want to get married like they used to. It's that they can't get men to want to give them their money. Because they could keep the marriage as long as they get the money. But am I wrong? What do you guys think?
If you think the legal risk of marriage is turning men away, wait until you see how this exact same risk calculation is changing why men refuse to even approach women in public spaces anymore. Click the video on your screen right now, and let's look at the reality. See you there.